been pounding the pavement since day one.
Since day one.
Yes, since day one.
Since day one. I'd like you to say hello to my audience.
Good evening, everyone.
All right. And I'd like you also to share a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
Okay. Thank you so much. When I received that question, I said I could say so much. I am extremely proud of my culture. I am African American, meaning during the slave trade, my family was dropped off here in the United States. So we've been in this country since the 1800s. And when I say that I'm proud of my history, as I call it, I truly am, because in my family, we had both free and those Africans who were enslaved, because my family's from Delaware. Okay. So Delaware is one of those unique states. My family fought in every conflict, every war. One of my grandfathers actually purchased his freedom in the 1800s, left Delaware, came to Brooklyn, but then when the war broke out, he went back to Delaware to fight in the Union Army. So I'm so extremely proud of that. I'm proud of my grandmother who was a domestic. And I think many of us who have grandmothers and mothers who were domestics and fought so hard to ensure that we receive the education that we have. And my grandmother, she lived through segregation, which was an ugly part of our history here in the United States. But she worked as the domestic, ensuring that all of her children went to school and were educated. My mother was actually the first of her brothers and sisters to go to desegregated schools. So I tell that because I think some of our youth today, they don't understand how hard it was fought to ensure that they have this education. My mother fought so that Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday be a national holiday, part of the civil rights movement. So I'm just proud of all of that, of everything that has been instilled in me.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
I commend the heritage from which you were birthed.
Thank you.
Isn't that something? Can we talk about, now let's talk about your profession. You are an attorney.
Yes.
And now you're vying for the position of city court judge. Why?
Okay, my profession is, yes, I am an attorney. I've been an attorney over 16 years. I've been doing great works for our community. When I say our community, I mean the entire New York State area. But specifically, I've been doing great works for the people of Mount Vernon, meaning many of our youth come before courts because there is a misunderstanding. I'll say that. There's a misunderstanding in the law. Their parents oftentimes don't understand the law, and they don't understand the law. And what I do every day, and I have been doing this for many years, is to reach our youth before they even become involved in the criminal justice system. I think you have to start when they're babies. You know, you have to take them to work with you. You have to do job shadow days, because when you do that, then they are less likely to become involved in the criminal justice system. All right, our elders are extremely, extremely important to me. I've worked with them tirelessly to ensure that they understand the criminal justice system, but they also understand their estates. Many of them may not have much money, but they do have estates, such that when they are no longer here, that the rest of their family should, you know, receive those benefits. So simple wills, I will do that for them free of charge. Okay, that's extremely important. And our veterans, our veterans are so important to me, because I believe oftentimes they are forgotten. They are extremely forgotten. So I work tirelessly with them so that they are not caught up in our system. Why am I vying for this position? I'm vying for this position because I am the best candidate to be elected and be on the bench. When I say that, our bench, Mount Vernon City Court, needs to have a judge who can start off day one running, who does not have to be taught everything. Now, Mount Vernon, like many of our city courts, is comprised of a large portion dealing with criminal court. I've spent my career, I'm a felony trial attorney. That's extremely important, meaning I pick 12 jurors, and, you know, the jury comes back whether not guilty or you need a judge who has that experience, who's had experience dealing with hearings, trials, and have you, who knows how to make bail applications, so that when they on that bench from day one, they're not looking around asking anyone else, well, really, what is going on? What decision has to be made? Who can make a decision? That's extremely important, because when you have people come before you with serious issues, they need to understand that the judge who is sitting on the bench, one, respects them. Two, has actually practiced and helped them. Not just say, oh, well, yes, I have helped the community, but has been in there fighting. My nickname has been Pitbull. And I take pride in that because, yes, I've been a pitbull for my clients.
Well, I tell you, Tamika, because
Yes.
sitting across from me, you don't appear to
I
be.
know.
You know.
Get me inside that courtroom.
Yes.
And I believe that we need judges who actually have practiced. That's what I mean by practicing. You know, not someone who's just sat in an office or may say that, oh, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. I know what I have done. The community knows what I have done. And I've just been so dedicated. And it's time for me to be on so that our community knows when I stand before Judge Coverdale, there is actually an individual who is going to listen to me. Now, she may not always rule in my favor,
Right.
but I will receive fairness every time I come before her. And I believe that is truly lacking. And I don't believe there's any other candidate who possesses what I do.
Now, while you're passionate about your work,
Yes.
how anxious are you, especially if there is a very unique case presented to you?
You know, because I have been practicing the type of law that I have been for so long, and my work is varied. You know, I don't just do criminal defense work. You know, I do some landlord tenant, I do some wills.
Right.
So it is so anxious. I think when you're a judge, you have to take a step back and, you know, look at the case and say, you know what? I'm the one here who really has to be neutral. So as a judge, you really should not go into any case thinking one way. You have to hear both sides
Yes.
in order to make your decision. And I think sometimes some judges do not do that. But I am going to be the type of judge to do that. I have the experience. I definitely have the experience on the bench.
It's now 11 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome to the segment Community Link. My guest this evening, if you're just joining me, it's Tamika A. Coverdale. She is an attorney here in Mount Vernon. And once again, as I mentioned, she's vying for the City Court Judge position, and that will be held on September 13. Now, may I just go to this question right here that I had for you?
Yes.
Because I want to know, what difference will you bring to the city? And by the way, before you answer that question, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to pose a question to Attorney Coverdale. You may dial 914-600-4228, 914-202-4934. I now allow you to respond.
I am an individual who is extremely independent thinking. You know, I often think that sometimes people think I'm too independent, that I can listen to both sides. An individual, for example, may be my friend, and I don't oftentimes think that my friends are right or that they should be in certain positions. And I think as a friend, you'd be able to tell them that. But the difference that I will bring to the city is an individual who has, for one, always been able to stand on her own 2 feet. And two, I will bring different programs into the court system. One court or one diversion program that I would like to bring into the court system in Mount Vernon is our Veterans Court. Our Veterans Court would be so instrumental in ensuring that those veterans who have come back and have fought for our country, that have PTSD and other mental health issues, that they don't go right into the criminal court, that they have their own court, that once they are seen by their mental health professional and complete whatever programs that need to be done, that criminal conviction, it is thrown out. And this is not something that is new. I'm not recreating the wheel. We just don't have it in Mount Vernon. You know, it's important that our veterans know there is someone who is listening to them and who wants the best for them. I've represented so many veterans, and our veterans oftentimes, when they come in court, they don't have long rap sheets. They don't. They've served in the military, so they would not. You know, but oftentimes they have petty charges. And I just personally feel that they deserve better. So that's why I interact with our veterans all the time, and I definitely would like to implement that court. I would also like to expand on the adolescent diversion part. The adolescent diversion part in place that was with Judge Blackwood, but I would expand it during our youth who are in that court. They are actually, people look behind them and say, oh, well, how well are you doing in school? And if you're not doing well in school, then we will have tutors for them. And not only will we have tutors, but we'll ensure that they're taking their SATs and that they are actually graduating and going to college, because through education, all is possible. My mother taught me that. Many things can be taken away from you during this lifetime, but your education never can.
Right.
So those are two things that I will bring to court.
Right. Now you speak of your passion about education.
Yes.
Now I could take you to the next question. Your interaction with the community.
Yes.
How is that going?
Okay, my interaction with the community, I've had, first of all, I'm a member of Grace Baptist Church here in Mount Vernon. I'm part of the legal ministry at church, but not only am I involved in my church, I'm involved throughout the community. I've sat on panels dealing with bullying, because that's so extremely important. Our youth in schools are being bullied every single day, and I sit on the panel and I explain to parents what bullying is and how we deal with that. I also sit on panels dealing with police-community relations. The police and community are at odds with each other, and I truly believe they're at odds because they don't understand each other. Everyone in the community is not correct, and police officers are not always correct. All police officers are not bad. They are not. There are a few who spoil it, and then that's when the community looks at them and says, oh, it's all police officers who are bad. No, but when something happens to us, we want the police to come and assist us. So I've sat on many panels dealing with the police community relations. At the end of the day, it's always been my job to ensure that our children, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers and sisters get home at the end of the day. So that's why they have to know how to interact with the police. I also go into the schools. The schools in Mount Vernon are extremely important to me, and I mentor. It's important to start at an early age, first, second grade, so that our youth understand that they can go into certain professions. And yes, that education is so extremely important, but I do that continuously. I also do job shadowing, so that young people can come into court with me and they see what I do. And after seeing what I do, they look at everyone. They want to be a court officer, a judge, a prosecutor, a defense attorney. So I'm dedicated. I'm extremely dedicated. I pride myself on that.
Well, we are certainly looking forward to what the outcome will be. And I would just like to ask you this final question. Why should the residents cast their vote for you?
The residents of Mount Vernon should cast their vote for me, Tamika A. Coverdale, row 6A, because I'm the one candidate who has not only been dedicated to our community, but has practiced in all areas of the law that are heard in Mount Vernon City Court. Now, there are people who will come and say, oh, well, this individual may have done this and this and this. In Mount Vernon City Court, we have a criminal part, we have a small claims part, we have landlord-tenant, and we have civil. I've practiced in those areas, and by profession trade, I've spent my entire career giving back. And it's time that our bench, that Mount Vernon City Court, has a judge who actually understands and knows the law and does not have to sit on the bench and have someone else come in and explain things. It's important because when you don't have a judge who can start off from day one, then the entire system is at a standstill. A court is busy. You know, families are in court waiting for their loved ones to come out. But when you have someone who can't make a decision, that's a problem. And we need better. We truly need better.
How relatable are you?
I'm extremely relatable. I often, before people even meet me, they say, oh, well, you know what, you have a nice smile. You're always smiling. And I said, well, I think it's better to smile. You don't want me to have a scowl on my face, right? Then you won't approach me. Okay. But I'm also relatable because, as you see, my name is Tamika. A lot of our young women, they are named Tamika. So when they see that, they open up. They're like, oh, Tamika, you know, so that means, you know, I can ask you this and I can ask you that. And it brings me pride. It really, oh, there's someone on the line. Okay.
Good. Welcome to Community Link. How are you?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening,
I have a question for the attorney.
Yes.
And the judge. Madam, good evening.
Good evening.
I know you have to tout your virtues and everything that comes with it in order for you to get the votes. But when I listen to you carefully and you say that you're facts in all segments of the Mount Vernon court, asking how, in all fairness, at best, can you adjudicate, given your having practicing capacity an attorney within those same courts? Is it familiar ground for you?
I just want to make sure that I understand you. Basically, because I've been practicing in the court, will I be able to be fair? Is that the gist?
No, you are currently practicing in all aspects of the Mount Vernon court off the bench.
Yes.
And you're asking to be placed on the bench.
Yes.
As a reversal of roles. And that begs to ask the question how, as someone who could very well be on the other of you in court as an attorney, finds himself in front of you as a judge.
Okay, well, hopefully I can answer this. Those who are my colleagues now, one thing that they say about me is that I'm an individual who is extremely fair and impartial, meaning that I look at a situation and it does not matter that you are my colleague or that you may have possibly been my friend. I can look at you as an individual and rule on a matter, not ruling on it because you're my colleague or friend or that we have a special relationship, because I honestly believe that individuals who do that, they have no place on the bench.
Yeah, well, due respect, your cousin, you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, with due respect, I can understand all that, but for the layman and someone who is in fraternity who will be coming in front of you as a judge, who maybe at one point in time again, that irrespective of what your colleagues say about you,
yes,
be that as it may, speaking of the average man,
yes,
who was in a court on the other side of you as an attorney and finds himself later on in front of you, should you become a judge? I'm just saying, it's like the prosecutor who later on becomes a defense attorney.
yeah.
It's just crossing the eye, and now you'll be moving. Should you be elected, you will be moving versus people who possibly elects you could find themselves in front of you and may have at one point in time find themselves up against you in front of you that you were proceeding on.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Is
All
that
right,
it, sir?
Yes, it.
Thank
All
you.
right.
So,
Thank you.
I'm just questioning. I'm sure you're going to say that you can adjudicate as better as you can, but as a layperson looking on, I wonder how it's only a fair shot.
Well, I think oftentimes what happens is, for example, if I have represented the individual who then comes before me, that is made known that I represent this person during this time or this year, and that individual would make a determination whether or not they would me to continue to sit, or I may recuse myself from the matter. Judges can always...
Sorry, but what about the... Okay, I understand. But what about the opposite? Somebody who you were... I'm trying to find the right term. Who you were against, for a better word.
Do you mean a prosecutor, maybe?
Prosecutor, or in civil court, or in landlord court.
Right.
So you may have been defending a landlord.
Right. But
or you may have been defending a tenant, and then you are now a judge.
Right.
And quite possibly could be a judge in the landlord tenant court. And there's someone who you're defending, or someone who you're defending against shows up in court in front of you.
Right, but I think that's what courts, though, judges always go through this. You don't have judge unless they really have not practiced and represented people who wouldn't have individuals appear before them. Unless you're that type of attorney who just sits behind a desk and never goes to court, then you would be in that situation. But those of us who have actually practiced and tried cases, and when we get on the bench, we will continue to have relationships with prosecutors either defendants or claimants. That's just how things work, and it is up to the court.
I know that.
Right.
I know that. I know
Right.
absolutely. I know that's how it works.
There's
And
another
I'm
call
just-
coming in.
Thank you.
Sorry?
There's another call coming in.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Community Link. My guest is attorney Tamika Coverdale.
All right. Good afternoon, lady. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm well.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I'm tuned in and I'm listening. Everything. I understand what the previous caller is trying to say, but at the same time, I don't expect anyone or most people to be stuck at one level in their career. And
Right.
if we're going to support the young lady, we support her and just get over whether she was a prosecutor or a defense attorney or not. She's trying to move on to the next level of her career. It's either we support or we don't. You know what I mean? We try to find ways to, you know.
I do.
You're welcome. And
Yes.
to the previous caller, no offense, but no, let enough, you know, support or don't support.
All right. Thank you for your comment.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now that's all right. You will find, callers or the residents of the community who want to question just about every aspect of how you will be able to manage these areas.
Yes.
It's just like, I guess, somebody who you went to school together, you played together, but then you became the prime minister of a country,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then there are certain methods that apply that no longer apply.
yeah.
And one has to respect, but I understand where he's coming from. One has to respect the position you will now be in.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it. So we understand that. Well, we are going to be having our ears on the ground, listening out, because I know it's competitive area
Certainly.
that you are going into.
It
There
is.
are other people vying for this
Yes.
position,
It is.
and you all have to demonstrate to the community what it is your mandate is all about. Can we trust you?
Yes. Yes.
They will ask you pointed questions. Do believe. One final call. Good afternoon. Welcome to Community Link.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Tamika.
Hi.
I endorse this lady.
Thank you.
She fight for her client. I watch her. I really watch the lawyer when I go to court with my son so many times.
Okay.
I know
This
who
is a
you
woman
are.
you could vote for.
Thank you.
All
She
right.
would do a good job.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Tamika, this is my mom.
I thought this was you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for calling.
you.
All right, Mika. Well, we're wrapping up now, ladies and gentlemen. It's 27 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. I allow you to make your final comments.
Again, thank you for allowing me to come before you and speak on community issues and what I have done. But more importantly, as I stated, I am running on row 6A. I'm a true Democrat. I have integrity, experience, and have actually been dedicated to our community, our elders and our veterans for an extremely long time, over 16 years. I'm not only coming before the people asking for their vote, but what have I done for them? I've actually worked tirelessly for them. I didn't want to bring this up, but I've represented individuals, 3, who have been killed. Senseless violence in our streets. I woke up this morning depressed, and I will admit that, because of a killing, a senseless killing. But I had to push on. You know, judges who've actually represented individuals in the fight, in the struggle, they are better representations. They are great at making decisions when people come before them and not taking a long time. I will be that judge and start from day one. Remember, 6A, our elders, youth, our veterans are extremely important to me, and I will continue to do what is good by our community.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. Tamika A. Coverdale, attorney at law, and she will be vying for the position of City Court Judge on September 13. All best, Tamika. Thank you for being here with me. That's a wrap this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Community Link right here on Inside the Zone, Linkage Radio 101.5 FM. Coming up next will be Know the Facts with Delia Farquharson, and we'll be talking about mental illness. Recently, a young woman was murdered in Mount Vernon, leaving 2 children behind. And this has to do with domestic violence. Domestic violence, which comes from a mental place as well. Stay with me, don't go anywhere. And